It's not just India. A whole of Southeast Asian nations are making a beeline, already starting to promise that they will buy more oil, more gas from the US. And China is the only exception. China has actually cut back dramatically. It has almost stopped buying US LNG, and it has dramatically cut back crude imports. But the rest of the world, of course, Canada and Mexico are exceptions, right? They are actually exporters to the US. But the rest of the world is making a beeline and wanting to buy more crude and LNG. The thing is, this is not necessarily a clear economic decision. So I think it's going to be quite complicated for policymakers and the companies within these countries that are committing to buy, weighing, okay, how much do we gain in saving on import tariffs by the US? And how much do we lose by potentially buying US LNG and crude when cheaper alternatives were available, right? So as you can imagine, it's going to be if you really want to get to the bottom of this, it's going to be a very, very complicated mathematics, if at all you can actually calculate all of it. I suspect the decisions will be made on a very political basis right now, because, let's face it, I mean, most of these countries have their backs to the wall. So they are going to promise they will, and the US is growing exporter, major net exporter of energy. So I think the problem might also be on the US's end when it has agreed to supply to all these countries, and then it needs to balance, right? Because it's got this limited quantity to sell, and how does it, where does it export and where it doesn't? In short, I can only say that, it will take a long time for us to see how the cookie crumbles, and how the US manages its commitments to supply, how the countries are what the countries are able to get in return for these promises.